We need to talk about females in hip hop. Hip hop has always been about identity, telling your truth, representing where you're from, and building something from nothing. And from the beginning, women have been a major part of that story. The first credited female rapper, MC Sharrock, was laying bars in the Bronx in the late 70s. Women like Roxanne Shante, Salt-N-Pepa, and Queen Latifah fought for space, respect, and recognition in a male-dominated field. They weren't just features, they were pioneers. Fast forward to 2025, and we're now seeing something powerful, a wide spectrum of fully realized brands in female rap. You can be poetic, political, sexy, gritty, weird, or deeply online, and there's an audience ready for it. Hey friends, I'm Ana The Marketeer, your friendly neighborhood marketeer baddie, and I decode marketing and branding strategies in celebs, creators, and campaigns so we can learn from them together and to help you build your own authentic brand. And today we're breaking down the 6 core brand archetypes in female rap. The lyrical geniuses, the sex symbols, the cool tomboys, the internet baddies, the genre benders, and the hood favorites. These are more than styles. They are full brand strategies. They're mirrors, and they show us what's possible when women in hip-hop are allowed to take up space in their own way. But first, I know most of you watching are not subscribed to my channel. If you've been liking my videos, hit subscribe right now to support the channel and get weekly breakdowns just like this. And if you join my newsletter Marketer's Memo, you'll get a free authentic branding checklist straight to your inbox that gives you immediate tips to elevate your current branding while still being yourself. The link is in the description. You can also listen to these episodes on Spotify on the go. The link is also in the description. Okay, now let's get into it. Why brand archetypes matter in hip-hop. Let's be real. For a long time, women in hip-hop were expected to stay in one lane, either hypersexualized sidekicks or novelty acts who needed to prove they can hang with the boys. You could be the sultry vixen or the socially conscious poet. That was basically it. There was little room for nuances. But that narrative started to shift incredibly in the 90s and early 2000s, thanks to artists like Lauryn Hill, Missy Elliott, Da Brat, Lil Kim, and Trina, all of whom showed that there isn't just one way to be a woman in hip-hop. Kim made sexuality mainstream in rap. Missy made weirdness cool. Then Nicki kind of came in and merged both of those together with sex appeal, bars, character, and camp. These artists built distinct brands. They created emotional identities that people could latch onto. And as social media grew, so did the need for strong, recognizable personas. Today, we have more female rappers than ever because we have more brand identities than ever. These archetypes give fans something to connect with, but more importantly, they give women permission to show up as their full selves and reflect the diversity in femininity, especially for Black women. They give permission for girls and women to be complex, contradictory, and fully themselves. Each archetype reflects a unique worldview, an emotional resonance, and a creative lane. Together, they show that female rap isn't a monolith, it's a whole ecosystem. In an industry that's historically boxed women in, these brand lanes don't limit, they help liberate. The 6 core brand archetypes of female rappers. So each archetype comes with a signature vibe, a defined audience, and a powerful impact on the culture. As always, there'll be multiple examples for each, but I'm going to try and focus on the top 2 or 3 for each archetype and also include some honorable mentions. Otherwise, this video will be an hour long. I can't name all your favorites, but if I miss somebody that you think is really important or they're just your favorite, name them in the comments where you think they belong. But make sure you watch this whole section before you comment because I might mention your fave. Number 1, the lyricist. Their vibe is that they're thoughtful, expressive, and message driven. The lyricist blends technical skill with intentionality. The aesthetic can range from minimal and earthy to bold and futuristic, but they always serve the content, not the other way around. The keyword I would say for the lyricist is intellectual. They usually represent the intellectual side within female rap. So some famous examples of the lyricists include Miss Lauryn Hill. She combined gospel, soul, and razor-sharp verses to make emotion feel intellectual. Another good example is MC Lyte. She's one of the first female rappers to gain respect purely off her lyrical prowess. Another example would be Rhapsody. She's very bar heavy, thoughtful, and rooted in Black empowerment. And some honorable mentions, but still really important people, would be like a Queen Latifah, where she balanced social commentary with poise, power, and dignity long before it was mainstream. And Left Eye, one of my favorite rappers, she brought eccentric metaphysical bars and charisma into pop rap's biggest girl group.
And an honorable mention, someone a little more modern, would be like a Lady London. I'd put her into this category.
The audience for the lyricist is usually hip-hop purists, deep thinkers, and fans who grew up on wordplay, maybe people who are also interested in poetry. They want to be moved, not just entertained. These fans prioritize introspection, storytelling, and emotional depth with their artists. Why this brand works is because it thrives on intellectual adjacency. These artists are cited in think pieces, university courses, and award shows, even if they're not chart toppers and even if they're not there or still alive. Their brand is intellectual credibility. They show that female rap can be serious art and give permission to be smart, vulnerable, and critical in a genre that often rewards bravado. Number 2, the sex symbol. The vibe is flirty, bold, and hyper-feminine. This archetype leans into sex appeal as power, turning desirability into control. Whether through luxury fashion, provocative lyrics, or confident body language, they sell autonomy, not just allure. Glam is their armor and sexuality is their message. The key word for this archetype, of course, is sexy. That's what they embody. Some top examples would be Lil' Kim. She made raunch iconic and stylish with unforgettable looks that truly defined the 90s. Nicki Minaj balanced Barbie-core with elite lyricism and fashion-forward visuals. Cardi B, relatable but raunchy, and her confidence is part of her accessibility. Some honorable mentions here: Foxy Brown, Meg Thee Stallion, Eve in her later era, Lotto, Salt and Peppa maybe would put there. They kind of a little bit more poppy than sexy, but they really put a lot of themes of sex in their music, which was really groundbreaking at that time. And some newer people or underground people like a Cupcake. The audience for these people would be like the nightlife, club culture, many queer fans because of their unapologetic attitudes and aspirational personas. And there's a lot of controversy within these sex symbol examples where people are like, Nicki copied Kim, Cardi B's copying Nicki, but really they just follow the same brand strategy. That's it. That's why people think that they're copy each other, but no, it's just the same brand strategy. This brand is powerful because of visibility. The good old sex sells, because it truly does a lot of the time. These artists dominate the mainstream. Magazine covers, award show performances, fashion collabs, and viral sound bites. They redefine femininity on their own terms and sell confidence like a commodity. Number 3, the hood favorite. Their vibe is gritty, authentic, and unfiltered. They don't perform, they represent. Their style mirrors their upbringing. Designer fits mixed with hometown staples, long nails, heavy lashes, unapologetic dialect, and it's not about polish for them, it's about presence. Realness is their brand. The keyword I'd give for this archetype is authentic. Some top examples I would say is Miss Trina, the baddies, gave us raunchy confidence from a Miami street queen point of view. Glorilla, relatable and raw. She sounds like your cousin who tells it like it is. Also one of my favorite artists. I can't stop thinking about that one interview where she's talking about Cardi B and she's like, that's my cousin. Like, love her. Remy Ma, fierce, lyrical, and loyal to the culture. Some honorable mentions: Gangsta Boo, Lady of Rage, Kamaya. These are some people that would fall into the hood favorites. And the audience for these people tend to be like day one rap fans and people who prioritize authenticity over polish. And this fan base wants to hear real stories from the real ones. This brand is powerful because it's authentic. Their appeal lies in trust. They may not top Billboard, but they sell out hometown shows, go viral for unfiltered moments, and earn loyalty that lasts. They prove that you don't need industry polish to hold cultural power. Number 4, the tomboy. The vibe is effortless, grounded, and swagger heavy. The tomboy archetype trades glam for grit, prioritizing comfort, confidence, and authenticity. Baggy fits, sneakers, braids, and an androgynous style, usually but not all the time, make space for a cool school that doesn't rely on traditional femininity. They don't ask for the spotlight, they earn it. The key word for the tomboy is representation. Some top examples would be Debrat. She's the first solo female rapper to go platinum with an unapologetically tomboy brand. Young Ma doesn't chase femininity. She makes masculinity part of her artistry. And early Eve, during the Rough Rider era, she had that perfect blend of edge and street beauty. And the audience for these people would be queer fans or casual hip-hop listeners or women who never felt represented by glam brands. And to be clear about audience, this might be the target audience for this brand, but doesn't mean it's the only audience for this brand. Just to be clear when I talk about audience. This brand is powerful because of representation. They're cool without trying to be, and that draws in a fiercely loyal fan base. They show us that femininity isn't a one-size-fits-all, and you can thrive without fitting into the heteronormative mold. Honestly, I couldn't really think of too many modern artists that fit into this. Like Doechii is the closest I can think of, but like I'm not completely sold on putting her here. So let me know in the comments, who do you think is a modern day female artist that would fall under the tomboy aesthetic? There's many 90s ones, even like R&B artists I could think of, but not too many in today's day and age. So let me know in the comments. 5, the internet baddie. Their vibe is digital savvy, visually curated, and algorithm aware. They're built for the timeline, blending beauty, sound bites, fashion, and online culture into a brand first identity. Their bars are made for captions, and their looks are made for clips. Every post is like a rollout. And the key word I'd give for this archetype or brand is virality. So some examples of this, I'm sure you all know of these people because they've been popular in the new age. Ice Spice, of course, viral queen who made much a movement. Saweetie built an entire empire off pretty privilege and internet savvy. Bia combines minimal flow with max visual control. And some honorable mentions would be like a Ruby Rose or a Lola Brooke. They tend to attract an audience of fashion-forward Gen Zs, social media junkies, and some beauty influencer crossover fans. And this brand is powerful because of its visibility. They thrive in virality. Their brand is content, sound bites, outfit posts, makeup collabs, and they win without the traditional rollout. They prove that understanding digital culture is a skill and it can build empires. Number 6, the genre bender. Their vibe is avant-garde, unpredictable, and high concept. They treat rap like a playground, bending genres, aesthetics, and expectations. From surreal visuals to sound experimentation, they don't just make music. They build experiences. Weird is welcome. Strange is celebrated. The key word for this group is innovation. Some top examples, of course, Missy Elliott, surreal visuals, futuristic beats, and this timeless swagger that lives on and on. Doja Cat, I would say, falls into this. One day she's a cow, next day she's a demon, and somehow it all works out. And this might be a surprising one, but I would put MIA into this. Very political, global, chaotic, and impossible to copy. I feel like there hasn't been anyone able to really get MIA's vibe since, she came out in the 2000s. Some honorable mentions here, I'd say, is Rico Nasty, Tierra Whack. I'd even put Lizzo here, Bree Runway. There's a few good people, innovators, I'd say, in this day and age where authenticity is really important. These type of people, I think, are getting rewarded more than others. The audience for these people, festival kids, music nerds, art school creatives, fashion weirdos, and sometimes they really do get into the mainstream, getting loved by everybody like a Missy Elliott. And this brand is powerful because it's unpredictable. They always keep us guessing and surprise us, and they build cult followings and push the industry forward. They make sure hip-hop keeps evolving, not just sonically, but culturally. A lot of times they will become a part of pop culture because their ability to adapt, shock, and engage audiences. So what can you learn from these people as you're building your own brand as an artist, a creator, or a creative? So here are 3 key takeaways that you can learn from branding in female hip-hop. Number 1, there's no right way to be visible. Not everyone needs to be the internet baddie or the lyricist. If you're more low-key, more lyrical, more layered, own that. The best brand is the one that's true to you and how you naturally move through the world. Number 2, make your brand about clarity, not conformity. Whether you're a tomboy, a sex symbol, or a genre bender, your brand should help people understand how to connect with you, not force you into one mood forever. Their goal isn't to limit, it's to highlight. And number 3, you don't need to be mainstream to be powerful. Just like the hood favorites, your impact can exist outside of the algorithm, or the algorithm will catch up to you and promote you just for being your authentic self. Focus on resonance, not just reach. In the long run, people remember how you made them feel, not how many likes you got. At the end of the day, branding in female rap isn't just about being flashy. It's about being clear, and that's just good branding. These archetypes show how powerful personal branding can be when it's rooted in identity, purpose, and real connection. So whether you're a baddie, a poet, a hustler, or a genre-bending alien, there is a lane for you. So tell me in the comments, which archetype do you connect to the most and which is your favorite? And also, bonus question, because 2 wasn't enough, which genre or brand do you think is kind of not as relevant anymore and you wish was more relevant in the mainstream? Of course, subscribe if you want more branding, pop culture breakdowns like this. Subscribe to my newsletter if you want personal branding tips straight into your inbox. And then you can also listen to these episodes on Spotify as a reminder. And also feel free to follow me on IG and TikTok. Everything is in the description below. And if you want to support the channel, you can also buy me a coffee. Link is also below. Until next time, Marketeers, stay weird, stay clear, and most importantly, stay you.